Hello and welcome to Casual Shenanigans episode. I think this is 12. I really should have checked before I just said that. That would have taken like 2 seconds to check. Anyway, welcome to Casual Shenanigans episode whatever. I'm one of your hosts, Jeremiah or Germ Gaming, and I am joined by, let's go from the left and work our way over. I'm joined by Chris.
Hello.
And hey guys, I am Dave, the not so evil Viking 13.
Who has a camera this week?
I exist! I'm real! I'm a real
You have a
boy.
camera and a very blue tint in your house.
Is that what you
It's actually my
expect,
MBX
David
backlights.
the-
I can probably change that.
Oh,
wonder-
it's not a problem.
I am very blue.
I wonder what people thought Dave.
All right.
Thought,
Oh
what
yeah, I
Dave
already
looked like.
introduced myself. Sorry, Joel.
I'm Joel. You can also
Joel's
call
mic is not working.
me. Oh, dang it!
All right, let's move on while we're waiting for Joel to get that going.
Classic
Steve.
Joel.
Is it working now?
I just tweeted
Hello?
a
Is
link.
it working?
Dave.
Okay.
Is it working?
All right, so Steve.
Freaking A! Now it's working.
Steve is new to the podcast, but he plays with us. Those of you who watch our stuff will have probably recognized him. And then, yeah, of course, Joel.
What
Of course, Joel.
Hi.
What does that mean?
All right, we're just gonna move on because this intro is terrible. Real quick before we start on any actual topics, I just upgraded to my IPS LED monitor today, and this is fantastic. I feel bad for all the poor people using their TN LCDs now.
Welcome to the light.
What does it do better?
Everything.
Is it like Retina or something?
Shut up about Retina. No, it's
Oh,
not.
so it's not Retina. Okay, so it's not.
Which means it's not worth anything.
And it begins.
No, an IPS, it's called in-plane switching. It's just a better display technology, and it's LED backlit. Basically, the colors are better, and it reproduces more of the color spectrum than my old monitor. And the whites are whiter, the blacks are blacker, and everything just looks pretty. So,
It's like an Apple display, basically.
Dave, just why do you do this to me? Although actually, the higher end iMacs, the ones with the high res displays, they're using LG panels. Those are IPS LEDs. So yes, a lot of Macs do use them now. And a lot of phones and stuff now too. It's just becoming a lot more popular. So anyway, I absolutely love mine, and I highly recommend you guys get one. If you don't already
Even for
have
games,
one,
it looks great. Like,
yeah,
you see
I
more
loaded
of
up
shadow
DayZ.
depth.
Something, yeah, it's kind of thing where I can't really put my finger on what exactly is different other than everything is just magically better.
Yes.
So I'm cool with that. All right, so our first topic for tonight is SimCity. SimCity launched 1 month ago, and we devoted most of an episode talking about all the problems it had when it launched, or whether or not we thought it had problems. Joel didn't really think it had that many problems. I thought it had a lot of problems, but of course I don't own the game, so my opinion doesn't really matter as much as Joel and Dave's. So, you guys, it's been like a month now. How is the game? What's it like?
I haven't touched it for weeks.
Yeah, so
Although
a riveting experience.
Although I just got an email saying it's coming on Mac the May 1st. So I'm excited about that because I'll probably play it more actually. Just because if I'm going to jump on my computer and turn the beast on, I'm going to play something else instead of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and
I
also
might
the
do
cool
that.
part is your key is actually it should work for both. So you have a copy of the Mac version right now,
Oh,
basically.
nice. Awesome.
So,
That's
good move.
great news. Great
Wait,
news.
why is it
No.
going to work better on your Mac?
I'm not saying it's going to work better. I'll just probably play it more often. As like a
okay.
casual game in the background than sitting in my desk chair playing for hours on end a game that has no point for me.
Look, don't judge me.
I'm not
Because Joel, it's
I
funny you
stopped
say
judging
that
you a long time ago.
you haven't logged in like a couple weeks, right?
Oh gosh, dude, I don't even want to know how many cities you have and everything.
Because you showed me that one region where like you had that cool little like small town going. I'm like, okay, I'll join you. I think I've got 9 cities now in that region.
I've done like
complete
nothing in my
finished
town.
cities. Yeah, your town hasn't changed in like 2 weeks. I have 9 like metropolises around you. It's like a mining town, a tourist town, like a casino town.
So can you
Joel town.
can you like move in on his town and just start taking it over by force, like with
I
violence?
told Dave I would really like this game a lot better if you could do a public creation mode where we could all jump in and just create a giant city really fast together or something.
Really?
No
You want
one
to do that
wants to give you that
together?
power.
Or to be able to actually really affect other people's towns. You can't really affect other people's towns that much. Like, I wish I could build a terrible town that would actually hurt his town like really bad.
Oh, I'm
He
sure
just
you
wants to be
do.
a troll.
No, they do something different. I don't know.
Some men just want to watch the economy crash.
I just. Has anyone ever
Joel's
played
town
that?
is like terrible because all of your like shoppers are commuting over to my town to shop and like to work. And eventually, there's gonna be just no one left in your town, Joel.
Well, yeah, I have my whole town's made up in a V, right? If you go this way, it goes to like Crappy Town, where literally the house you live in is right across the street from where you work. And then on the right side of
So you have
town,
nothing to live for.
and then the right side of town is all the rich people. They don't work. It's just all commercial and like residential and everything. The rich people live there. And there's one tiny strip of road that comes across where all the money filters over from the left to the right.
The great part is the factories are like these super low tech, like giant smokestacks, like belching black smoke. Like it's like Think Industries from BioShock.
It's pretty bad, but I kind of wish it was a prison simulator. What? I think I would have more fun.
What's wrong? Why do you want this to be a prison simulator?
Okay, I just wish like you could actually have really bad things happen in the town, or you have to fund something. Like it says, you need
Can't
to.
Godzilla come attack the town?
Well, that's I don't know. To me, that's boring. I wish it was like all of a sudden like a
Godzilla's boring. You know, a giant monster comes out of the water and destroys half the city, but I mean, that's just an average
It really
Monday.
doesn't affect it that much, though. It doesn't. It doesn't really affect it that much. I wish it was a campaign mode where you have to do an objective like build a casino town and make sure several thousand people stay there, and if it drops below a certain line, the game ends.
Like
or you
Roller Coaster
lose.
Tycoon.
So yeah, I like that. I like those.
Okay.
Tycoon better.
Well, actually, Joel, some of the specializations for the cities, like you mentioned, casinos do work like that. Like once you get to a certain point where you say you're getting like 70,000 tourists per day, and your city like depends on that revenue. If your transportation like gets backed up and your tourists drop, like all of a sudden you're losing like 8,000 simoleons an hour, and it's all going down the tubes.
Huh.
So it kind of has some stuff like that.
Maybe like the missions pop up like as you're playing it, but I guess, I haven't played it long enough to do that. I wish it was more of like a story mode. But in Roller Coaster Tycoon was horrible because I loved creating really horrible pool, like big giant pools, and the water slide would go into the pool, and the price to get into the park would be like 50 cents. So you get droves of people coming. They go down the water slide, they get stuck in the pool, and to leave the pool, they had to pay $50.
You're a terrible person.
So people would just stay in the pool and they would swim around. They would never leave.
You're a bad person.
And you could also trick the game because you could make like hot dogs and stuff like 50 cents, but as soon as the droves start walking towards it, then as soon as they get there, then you hike the price up really like a ton, and then they're already there, so they're just gonna buy it anyways. So
Social engineering with Joel.
I always heard the trick where you make like salted French fries like 25 cents, but make sodas like $10. So everyone gets like super thirsty. Like, oh, free French fries.
I may be able to get you a job at Busch Gardens if you're interested. You seem like the enterprising individuals they're looking for.
these prices are making me
Joel
thirsty.
probably couldn't pass the background check.
I don't know. My brother worked there for like 5 years, and they're amazingly lax on who they'll let work there.
You're that guy with that one video blog. We're gonna need you to just die.
Sorry about the noise. That was my phone. I was restarting it. I apologize.
Do you have an Android?
I do, and it's doing this thing where let's just go off topic. Why not? So Verizon just started
Don't give
using
no
That took
ammo.
a while.
Verizon just started using SIM cards for their 4G phones for whatever reason. Yes, I can see your iPhone 5, Joel. Thank you for holding it up. So
I was obligated.
my phone has a SIM card in it, but apparently they haven't really, since they're kind of new to SIM cards, they haven't really gotten all their bugs worked out. So every once in a while, the SIM card just goes offline, and you have to reboot and clear the SIM out
Weird.
and try again. Yeah, it is.
Sorry, speaking of phones,
But anyway,
did you hear about the
okay,
new
so problems with
Galaxy
SimCity.
S
There were lots of
Massive?
problems when it launched. For any of you who don't know, the problems with SimCity were that you couldn't log in. Sometimes your city's... The new what?
Is your audio catching up?
I don't think so.
Okay, so for a second I thought you were lagging. I was like, did you just hear my comment finally? No, I was gonna say, did you hear about the new, like, I forget the number of it, it's the Galaxy S Massive. It's literally a 6.1.
Yes.
I was like, what the crap is that? It's like
6.3.
carrying around a cheeseburger in your pocket.
And now...
It's ridiculous. It's like, here, let me just put
There's
my entire
actually-
laptop into my pocket now.
In Europe, there's an 8-inch version.
What?
It's like a tablet in your pocket.
It is a tablet. It's not in your pocket. It's not anywhere close to your pocket.
Long. That's not going to last long.
Anyway, so SimCity. It had problems where you couldn't log in for like hours or days, and you'd get booted out, and your cities would get rolled back to previous versions and all kinds of other stuff that really shouldn't happen with a single-player game, all because of this hacked-on DRM. So, Dave, since you have continued to play it, how is it now?
Ever since like the first 2 weeks, there haven't been really any real connection problems. I did lose one city, like an hour of progress on it because I wasn't paying attention and they had like some posted, maintenance. I don't think that really counts. I just wasn't paying attention, and so I lost like an hour because I was playing without the servers being online. Never a good idea. But after playing so many cities at this point, I'm actually starting to see some of the deeper problems with the game as far as depth goes. There's a lot of bugs with traffic, and some of the things that are just kind of fudged and averaged. And as your cities grow and continue to get larger, you run into more of that stuff where things just aren't working right. Like I've had trolleys that get stuck in like a loop in one section of the city, and to fix it, you have to like bulldoze a section of road and reconnect it, and like all of a sudden all your trolleys like explode back out into the city. The water table seems to be super buggy. Like I've had cities drain the water table in just a couple hours of gameplay, and once the water table is drained, it takes forever to come back. And basically, to get water for your city, you have to go to a separate city and provide a utility city. But don't ever actually play that city, because then it'll also drain the water table in that city.
Wait, so it just like uses up all the water in that section of Earth, and you have to wait for more water?
Yeah, like your city just sucks all the water dry. I guess some plots of land have more water than others, but even plots that have a super saturated amount of water, eventually, and way too quickly in my opinion, you actually drain all of that within 3-4 hours maybe.
That's dumb.
And as you drain the water, you have to constantly bulldoze like high value areas of your city to move your water like plants around. It's terrible. And I guess after doing so many cities, like I've done a casino city, I've done mining cities, I've done trading cities, it gets to the point with the limited plot size, I really feel like now it's starting to limit me, where all of my cities towards the end start to look really, really similar, and it's more of like just the road layout that I'm playing with, which is a lot of fun. Like I draw train tracks like there's no tomorrow, like a model train set, but after a while it does start to feel kind of the same.
Right. I think I've actually been watching... Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, is that a restriction of the size of the cities, or is that just a restriction of you build the same way and you found it works?
I think it really is a restriction of just the size of the cities, because I've done cities where I actually try to have like a suburb area off to the side and stuff like that, but after a few hours you come to the point where you're like, okay, either I keep expanding and like rezone and make it more efficient, or I just call the city done with because I'm already out of space. Right. And that happens really, really fast. Like now that cheetah speed is finally back, which was finally patched in last week, the fastest speed, took forever to come back, I can build an entire city and basically finish it in like 2.5 hours. Like totally done.
Wow.
It's getting close to full density. I'm just like watching money come in and watching a few buildings upgrade at that point.
That's pretty nuts, considering, I mean, that old SimCity, you could spend like hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, you'd have cities that you kind of
like
play
that
around with for months at a time, if not years. And I really can't complain too much because I'm at like something like 95 hours in the game now. I mean, that's counting time that it just idles in the background earning simoleons, but it's like, oh yeah, it's got some simulation problems, now that I'm 95 hours in, but how terrible is that, I guess, is the question. It might just be a Battlefield thing where I just feel like it could be, it has the potential to be so much better. Like it's good, but why couldn't it be better? I hear birds.
Yeah, I'm hearing birds too, or rats.
Yeah, who has birds?
I hope that's birds.
That might be
Seriously, who? What do you? It might be you. If you've got birds, you should know.
They're outside.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh,
shoot them.
springtime.
Eagle comes swooping by.
No, Steve, no!
Amund Erlandson just posted in the comments on this video. He posted a picture of his pocket. He actually can fit his Nexus 7 in his pocket. So, well done. So
now,
he is
you
qualified
can't do anything
to
but
have that.
stand.
That's true. If you sit down, it'll probably snap it. Actually, my phone barely fits in my pocket some of the time. Like if I sit down, it really digs into my hip unless I turn it sideways. So, yeah. Anyway,
People going to the hospital.
so Dave,
Yeah.
would you say SimCity is everything it was hyped up to be? Since we've been waiting for this game for like a year, and it was supposed to have this revolutionary, amazing image and be so awesome, is it really that awesome?
It is awesome, but is it that awesome? No, it's not.
It's
I tell you what.
96 hours awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like, oh, this game isn't perfect.
Look,
I
I've
spent
only,
my whole
I've only
life
played
playing it.
96 hours. I only have 137 hours in Skyrim since it came out. I just played a little bit today. Like, I'm still enjoying it. That's 136 hours. That's
I don't know. I kind of
That's
gave
a
up on
crazy
Skyrim
amount.
after about 15.
Oh wow,
Wow.
Yeah, it just didn't hook me.
you
Sorry.
casual. Yeah, I feel like only about 40 to maybe 45 of those hours are actually me playing SimCity, and the rest is just me wishing that cheetah speed was turned back on as I wait for money to roll in.
Didn't it just turn on, though?
Yeah, like literally last week, it took them 4 weeks to get cheetah speed back, and that's a huge deal when you're waiting to build like, your city. It takes forever
Yeah,
to earn
that's-
money.
I've ragged on SimCity enough, so I'm not going to do it anymore, but that's kind of pathetic.
If I could summarize SimCity, I think it's worthy of the name. Like, I feel like it's a really cool new direction. The idea of having an entire living city like that is just amazing. It looks great. It's a lot of fun to play. I wish it had more polish, though. It could have been so much better, and that's just frustrating for me, I guess.
Okay, well, if in a couple months it's suddenly gotten better for some reason, or they release giant free DLC, not likely, then we'll see. Oh, actually, closing that out, did you see that EA, didn't their CEO resign? And they're actually, I saw today, they're laying off a bunch of people. Apparently, it's not
Yeah.
just SimCity. They've kind of felt like they've been failing across the board this past year, and they're trying to make some fundamental changes to the company.
Isn't the standard for EA like if you're the CEO and you resign, you get stoned out front of the building or something? I feel like
No,
it's
it's
maybe, like,
probably
really dramatic.
It's probably you get like $10 million of severance and then go somewhere else because you were the CEO of EA. But
As you run
yeah.
away from the sinking ship.
Did you see that thing where they were supposedly voted the worst company in America? Which is ridiculous. Like, for everything EA's done stupid with video games, their products don't, like, physically hurt people. Like, I don't see how they could be voted the worst company. They're only voted the worst company in America because all the people who vote are already on the internet, so they're already mad little neckbeards anyway.
That voting was just so ridiculous. I couldn't believe that.
But I mean, think about it. Like, EA, at the very worst, their products suck and people waste money on them. Like, at the very worst, it can't get any worse than that.
Yeah.
I mean, you compare that to companies that, like, exploit human trafficking laws in other countries and stuff like that. Like, how on
Or,
earth
you know,
could EA be the
Bank
worst?
of America that's been seizing people's houses under foreclosure, like, and making mistakes like, oh, sorry, we had the wrong house and you got evicted 4 months ago. Our bad. No, EA is totally worse for SimCity.
Anyway, okay, so yeah,
That's just so
maybe I'll
stupid.
buy it. I think it's gonna have to hit like the $5 mark for me to buy it. I did just get Tropico 4 recently, so I'm probably gonna play that.
Is that the newest one?
Yeah, it's the latest one. I think it's like a year old or something.
I played a little bit of 3, I think.
I
Did you like
played
it?
2.
I just played the demo. I didn't really
Was it
understand
good?
it.
Steve, I've never played Tropico. How does it compare to SimCity?
I like SimCity better. Tropico's a little more restricted on the things you can do. But I haven't played the new SimCity. I played SimCity 2000. So.
Okay. All right. Next topic. BioShock Infinite. BioShock Infinite just came out, and from what I read on the internet, I have not played it yet, but from what I read, everyone absolutely loves it. I actually haven't read pretty much any negative thoughts about it. So, Joel and Dave, you guys both have it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should totally just talk about the ending right here, right, Joel? Just,
Nope.
Like, get it all out there and just...
Do the
That
rest
part
of
when
you...
Pooh Bear comes out of that closet.
Do
so
Steve or
scary,
Chris? Do you
man.
guys have it yet?
No.
Not yet.
Are you-
I'm waiting
are you
for a
planning on
good
getting it?
sale.
I actually bought like the collector's edition. I just couldn't resist. Ooh, fancy.
I'm still just. It's weird. You bought a physical PC game. It just seems.
Well,
weird
I
that
have
someone would do
Amazon
that.
Prime, and it comes like the day it comes out. I really can't argue with that. Like, I'm at work during the day anyway.
Yeah, but can you argue with Steam? It comes out the day it comes out, and you don't have to like put a disc in and click next a bunch of times. And it
Oh,
just
but you get
The last
downloads it.
game I
So
bought
many
on
cool
CD
features.
was Half-Life 2. And
Are you serious?
yeah, that's the last time. That's the game I bought.
I did laugh though because I bought the like special edition for BioShock 2 and it was awesome. It was like this big like record sized box. It had this huge art book and I always loved the art book and so I was expecting that gigantic collector's version again. And this is what I got. Like it's so tiny. Where's my camera? There's my camera. It's nice, but like comes with this like, you know, vigor bottle. And it's an inch and a half tall. On the Amazon picture, it looked like it was like, you know, 8 inches tall. Actual vigor bottles. No,
You're
It's still
actually gonna drink it and like get powers. Just gonna be Mountain Dew in there.
Yeah, what's
actually,
in it?
It's actually it's a keychain. Actually, it's kind
Oh, you can't actually drink stuff out of it.
You, my friend, got pwned.
Needs a little removable screw top for, you know.
Hey, actually, Dave, can you bring that into work? Because I would like to read that book. Or
Yeah,
look at
and
it.
actually, this is worth the whole price for me. Is the cloth bound art book really awesome? And I won't open it because it's full of spoilers.
Really?
Yeah,
That's worth $70.
it was.
Okay.
Your mom is worth $70.
Thank you, Joel.
Don't you judge me.
So, how is the game itself?
I think it's probably game of the year.
And
Oh, yeah,
please
this
don't
year,
spoil
definitely,
anything.
yeah.
I
Maybe
liked
this
the
year,
first
yeah.
Bioshock. I didn't absolutely love it, but I liked it. And from everything I've seen, this looks like it's everything I liked about the original Bioshock and better.
You'll probably like this better. If you just kind of like.
Who's wrestling? Who's doing something with plastic?
Nothing at all.
What are you eating, dude?
I was opening my vigor.
I'm a little hungry.
I'll stick to my coffee. I
No,
guess.
it's an absolutely great game. It's really well done. I actually bought it. I rented it on Redbox for my wife to play it while I was playing it on my computer, and she really enjoyed it. I just put it on easy for her and everything. But yeah, she got through it really fast as well, and it's a really really well thought out story. Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, if you just liked BioShock, you're gonna love this one a lot.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was kind of
I really
wondering
liked
after
Bioshock.
I was gonna say I was wondering after how awesome Bioshock 1 was with just the twist that no one saw coming and just how they tied it all together. I'm like, how
I
can
saw
they
it
top
coming.
that? You saw it coming?
Yes.
Oh, la-di-da.
I thought it was obvious. I was like, oh, well, or wait.
Don't say
Chris
it.
and Steve, have you played it or?
I don't really plan on it. I know how sinful that is, but
Yeah, we probably shouldn't mention it still on the air.
Bioshock 1, really? The game that's like
It's
6
been a
years
long
old?
I
time.
wouldn't, just because it's such a great game. Like, it's such a
All
great
right.
game.
There's
Well,
so
the
many others to
twist.
play.
Yeah, but for anyone, let's. Nah, I can't even say anything.
All right. I
Yeah,
thought the twist was
I-
pretty obvious, but to be fair, I also guessed the twist on the Prestige.
You know, I actually almost I was pretty close to guessing it. Like, I had an idea, and then I was still blown away by the ending. But I was like, no, they couldn't do that. And then I was like, whoa! I had part of it, but definitely not the very, very end. I knew one side of the twist, but I did
didn't
not
guess-
see the other side of the twist coming. at
Yeah,
all.
I didn't guess the very, very end because that was more like really specific to the story, but just kind of the general. How did they do that? I was like, oh, well, it's obviously yada yada yada. I realize this probably sounds really boring to anyone who hasn't watched the movie. So then I
You
was
know-
like, and
Yeah,
then the
I'm
thing,
lost.
and then blah blah blah.
I think-
Dave, have you
I
not
think-
seen The Prestige?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, Dave, you're gonna love it.
It's a great movie.
It's- it's my-
And you
it's
still
my
haven't
favorite
seen The
Christopher
Dark Knight
Nolan movie.
Rises. You still haven't seen The Dark Knight Rises.
I'll let you
Don't
know. I have
judge
it on
me.
Blu-ray. I have it on Blu-ray. You're welcome to borrow it. But
I still have the entire Band
The
of Brothers
Prestige is the
Blu-rays,
best
too.
Christopher Nolan film. That's my favorite one of his. Yeah, I mean, I like the Batman movies, but I think that one as a whole, like, just blew my mind compared to the rest. And I think it's the most smartly thought out movie. I like it way
That's
better
quite
than
possible.
Inception.
yeah. I would agree. I think I liked it plot-wise better than...
Just because it actually had a really fulfilling ending, where even Batman and Inception didn't have that much of a fulfilling ending, if you know what I mean. Like,
It's
it always was like you're left hanging a little bit. Where this one, you're not left hanging at all.
It's kind of funny
really,
though,
like-
because we're kind of debating like the upper tier of movies and their genres.
Yeah.
Like pretty much every movie he makes is one of the best movies in that genre in years.
I think if you like The Prestige, you're gonna really appreciate the story in BioShock Infinite. Just because,
Okay.
for me, I mean, I work on films, and I do commercials a lot, and I'm always writing stories. And I'm trying to come up with ways of coming up with twists and stuff that you don't see coming. You know, because for me, I can see most of them coming from a mile away, and that annoys me. I hate going to the theater. I want to be able to be like, I have no idea what's going on. You know, that's why I enjoy seeing J.J. Abrams films like Super 8 and stuff when they don't tell anything about the movie before you come out. Just because I want to, like, experience the movie without knowing it. So this one was really good because I kept on guessing what was going to happen. I was pretty sure I knew what was going to happen at the end of the game, but then I was really blown away. And that was exciting for me to be able to not go, oh, I didn't know it was actually coming. I was like, holy crap. It was really good.
I saw someone describe BioShock Infinite as a bunch of magical racists floating in a cloud city.
PC gamer, I love that intro.
Yeah.
That was great.
Magical racists.
And since I don't know anything about the story, that makes it even more like, ooh,
Yeah,
magical
I let myself
racists. I'm interested.
Is that going to be a new gaming genre?
Magical racists. Just massacre waves of them.
Redneck wizards. You play as a redneck wizard.
I would love to see Bethesda make one of those, or Obsidian make a
Open world.
open world.
Actually, Skyrim has a bunch
races.
of magical. The Elder Scrolls games have a bunch of magical racists in them. Pretty much all the races are really jerks.
Anybody that sells skooma, I always feel like, wow, this game's pretty racist. It's always these cats. Our cats must be like loving and cute.
Does
and
anyone
stuff? No,
play the
always
Elder
selling
Scrolls
drugs.
games as the Khajiit? Does anyone do that? Or is everyone like,
never
screw
done
you,
that.
I want to be a person? And even more than Khajiit, does anyone play as a lizard ever? Has anyone ever played a lizard?
Argonian.
Yeah, I know what they're called.
Chris
They're
ass.
lizards.
I have
why
not,
don't you play
actually.
I wanted it.
Lexi, you're denying it. You're ashamed of the Argonians.
I've never played them.
I'm just kidding, guys. Some of my best friends are Argonians.
Chris, don't be ashamed of your heritage.
Are you also one of those people that believe that lizards are taking over the government?
You mean the
Secret
lizard reptilians who secretly control our
Yeah.
entire government?
Did
They're
you
probably
know-
right now plotting with North Korea to shoot missiles over the border who will take our school children and re-indoctrinate them because school children belong to the entire community. And then the homosexuals will rise up in a reptilian wave and sing from shore
You know,
to
I
shining
wish that
shore.
would happen.
I may have
There's
kind of
supposedly
skipped some lines there.
There's supposed to be 4% of Americans actually believe reptilians. Yeah. It's,
Oh,
you gotta
actually,
be
believe. I
kidding
thought
me.
you.
No, I'm
I
not
thought you were
joking
about
at
to
all.
say 4% of Americans are reptilians. So it's all of people of Walmart, right?
Yeah.
They just have ill-fitting suits.
It all makes sense now.
I know. It's one of the times when you backtalk them that last time, they're like, yeah, you know.
What,
Yeah.
what
Anyways,
were we
back to
talking about?
BioShock.
How does this relate to BioShock?
I absolutely love
Magical
the game.
racists floating in the sky to Skyrim.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
I do have two negative things about the game. It isn't
Okay.
not spoilers or anything. I didn't like the combat, and I didn't like the Biggers at all. That was my one.
Why
thing.
didn't you like the combat?
Just because it's funny. I've been replaying through BioShock 1, and I absolutely love the fighting in BioShock 1 so much better. I love the skyhooks in the game. That was a lot of fun, but it was really busy, extremely busy. There's no point where you really can sneak up on someone. You can get like one shot off on someone, and then everyone knows exactly where you are, and you can't. It's really hard to kind of escape the craziness of it. Like once it begins, it just becomes mayhem. It's almost like a death match to the death, and every battle is basically the
Death
same.
match to the
Yeah.
death.
It almost every fight is pretty much very similar, and that besides for maybe two parts in the game that are a little bit different, but that's the only part. I was like, I kind of wish they only took out maybe 75% of the enemies and just made those other enemies harder, and then it'd just be a more one-on-one combat. There's a few parts where you fight like 2 or 3 people, and that's a lot of fun. But whenever time you starting in a big, arena with a bunch of people, it's got a little boring. You're just kind of like, just hurry up.
And actually, Joel, you pointed out to me, I hadn't even noticed this, that none of the enemies use vigors except for like keystone characters.
Yeah.
None of the normal citizens use vigors. And there's like posters all over the city, just like in BioShock, the new scientific thing is out. Everyone try these new vigors. No one did except for you. You just grab a bottle and chug it whenever you see it. Like, a strange bottle in a crate. I'll try that.
Yeah. I kind of wish there was no vigors. And I kind of wish you actually could have grabbed and held on to all the weapons, like in BioShock. I really love the scroll wheel in BioShock did. You could switch weapons. You can only hold 2 at a time.
Can you throw people off the magical floating city?
Yes.
That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, there's some good parts. You'll still like it. It's just, I don't know. The combat wasn't very fun. It wasn't really like dangerous. That's the kind of part. It was just like, since you knew you could just die and respawn real quick again, you did, like, sometimes I'd just be like, I'll just take out 2 of them even though I know I'm going to die, and then I'll just come back and do it again instead of trying to hide.
Not me, Joel. Not me. You lost too much money when you died.
Well, that's because, Dave, you're a whoremonger on money.
Occasionally, I would go back and I would reload a save in order to avoid losing money from getting killed. Like, it was just too much.
Oh, Dave.
Gotta have all my money.
Do you guys play on hard or regular?
Hard. I was going to mention that the difficulty spikes were nasty. Hard difficulty felt great for most of the encounters, but some of the arena and boss battles were stupidly difficult on hard. With just like no warning. It spikes all of a sudden. It was kind of weird.
Oh yeah, me and Dave, we actually both turned back down to medium at the same exact place.
Yeah.
So.
Because at that point I was really enjoying the story, and combat at medium was still fun, just not as challenging. Joel, you know what Yakko told me though?
Well, he said
he beat
played
the entire game on hard. I was like, he is hardcore.
How does he have that much time?
I have no idea.
I'm sure he had SimCity open on the MacBook off the side.
Dual wielding with hands like SimCity. This game.
Letting the money roll in the background.
Letting the money roll. I think those are my biggest complaints. I think overall, I think I like the world of BioShock 1 better than this one, even though it was absolutely beautiful and amazing. But I love the little bit more suspense side of it. BioShock and BioShock Infinite wasn't very suspenseful or scary. There's a few little parts that are more suspenseful, and there's definitely one part freaked the crap out of me. So I was really happy. I was like, finally, it was like throughout the whole game, I just let my guard down just because it was not scary at all, except for one part that made me jump like crazy. I was like,
I know which part. I know which part you're talking about. I know exactly what it is.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what part you're talking about.
I was playing it on the couch, Joel, to beat like the end of the game, and I didn't jump. I kind of saw it coming, but my wife jumped so bad. She like yelled because I had like this surround sound blaring. Yeah, she jumped really bad.
I really wanted to be at home when Joy was playing that to see if she got scared. I couldn't tell if she did. I don't know if you got scared. Do you know what part I'm talking about, Joy? Don't say anything, but you know.
There's a good TV right here.
Okay.
Turn and talk to someone off screen.
Joel's like, don't talk. You're not allowed to talk.
Shut up, you!
Overall for the game, I let myself get really excited. Like, I wasn't going to pre-order, and then 2 weeks before the game, I got the collector's edition pre-ordered. I got really pumped up on the trailers, and I loved it. Like, it didn't let me down, so that's basically my summary right there.
It definitely blew my expectations out. That was awesome.
They did it again. How? I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
But
me too. It's funny, towards the end of the game, I was actually really kind of getting worried. Like, I don't know if this is gonna get like really much better. And then wow, it really like, there's a really good part that I got chills. I was like, no freaking way. It's really good.
All right, we got to move on because I'm getting too excited.
I'm surprised you haven't played it yet.
I'm trying to finish Tomb Raider.
We'll just stop.
I'm trying to finish Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm excited to get back and play Tomb Raider again because that's
Tomb Raider's great. Chris, if this helps you at all, Tomb Raider is very similar to Uncharted.
I've heard. From what I've seen and heard about it, I'm just not as interested, though. I don't know why.
Oh, I really like Tomb Raider because it got away from the ridiculousness of the previous Tomb Raiders, which had their fun moments, but then they were just too, I don't know. They were...
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
What they were.
How's the QTE stuff? Because that's really what gets me. I hate that.
There's only a good amount. There's only like
there's not that much
hour,
of it.
There's only a good amount.
Only the first hour. That's a lot.
The first hour of the game is literally a tutorial. But it's a good tutorial. Like, it just shows you the game. And then there's not much quick time after that.
There's a few. The problem with the quick time events is that they don't tell you which key you're supposed to hit. They just give you an icon, and you're supposed to remember which key that is. So there's several times where I retry something. You've got like 3 different keys you can hit, and I just try each of them in sequence until I get it, right. But
if you get one of these, it's a lot better.
Joel, no one cares. But then all the shooting is you going...
Saying Laura Croft can't shoot, or you can't shoot?
Controllers can't shoot.
Oh, right.
It's pretty easy to shoot.
Not as easy as pointing and clicking. Moving along.
Actually, the game is a lot better on the controller. So I played with both.
We're not doing this tonight. Not tonight.
I'm gonna be out of arguing thumbnails if we keep this up. Every episode's just like Jill and Jeremiah.
You just put a picture of UFC on there?
Yeah.
Hardly.
Or some of those cartoon whirlwinds with all the stars flying out of it.
Anyway, Tomb Raider, I enjoy it. I highly recommend it. But what I was about to say was Battlefield 4 was revealed. And by revealed, I mean they showed 17 minutes of gameplay from the single-player campaign. Which, come on! Seriously. They track stats on everything. I would like to know what percentage of people actually finish the single-player campaign on Battlefield 3. I played it once. I played it the day it came out. I beat it, and that was it. I never went back to it. Never cared, never touched it. Does not matter. The story sucked. It wasn't that enjoyable. It was a bunch of big explosions and running around and shooting stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Going on to multiplayer. So what's the best way... What's the best way to show everybody the next game in the Battlefield series? It's going to fix all the problems they had with Battlefield 3. I know. Let's watch a sad song playing while some guys, one of them might die, because we've never seen that in any other modern shooters recently.
And we don't know who they are at this point anyway. Who are these people?
That 15 minutes earlier.
You're missing the free pass they get, though, by doing that. That's the thing I don't think you're understanding the free pass on that. Is... by making a single player in the game like that, I mean, they already know the multiplayer is the only reason to get it. But the reason why doing a good single player in a game like that is because one, you can really focus really well on making the graphics extremely superb because you're making the player go through a specific environment. Where multiplayer, it's got to be much bigger, right? But also by showing the single player off earlier, they know exactly what they need to put in. And because they already know you guys, who are extremely fanatics about the game, are going to watch it no matter what and are going to want to see the multiplayer. But people, I mean, like me, if you guys are not playing, it'd be fun to be able to just play a little bit of story mode and be done. You're getting two audiences, people that just go, oh, I don't have internet, but I just want to play a single-player game. Oh, that looks cool. And if they like it a lot, they get Xbox Live or they get it for their computer, they get internet and be able to play with friends. So it's a huge deal for that. That's a very smart move. But having the single player, they know exactly what they want to show. Where multiplayer, they're going to probably screw things up really badly. I mean, especially for you guys, you're going to tear it apart the second it's shown, and it's going to be like, what, the bullet physics do that, this, blah, blah, blah. By doing the single player, they get to see all the comments saying, oh, the guns look really similar and everything, so they go, wow. For the multiplayer, let's make sure we show this off first, because people are going to read
Possibly. I think one of the biggest things, like you touched on, probably one of the biggest reasons they were showing off the single player trailer is that they could show off all the fancy new graphics stuff, and that's a good way to do it because it's a very scripted scenario. And I must say the explosions and the helicopter crash and everything looked amazing.
It did look very good.
Now, as it turns out, I saw today they were running it on two 7990s and they were playing it at 3K resolution, and then they downscaled it, which is one of the reasons it looks so good. They basically did that so you can't see any pixels. It makes it look a lot better than it is, which is, I mean, it's still the technology is still the same whether or not it's scaled or not, and it still looks pretty amazing. They're saying it's the Frostbite 3 engine, but I mean, I don't know. It looks like better than the Frostbite 2 engine, but not that much better.
Looks like they've done. Probably fair to call it Frostbite 3. I think it looks like their particle system has been overhauled, as well as the lighting engine, and what was something else I noticed? The reflections also. If enough of it's changed, it's probably fair to call it a whole new version.
Okay. I guess I'm just used to Unreal Engine 3, where like it goes for 8 years and they just make a bunch of updates to it, and the games look totally unrecognizable.
Yeah,
Unreal
like
is
an
tied to
Unreal.
the console cycle.
Yeah,
That's
no,
true.
I'd agree with Jeremiah in saying that. I think it looks awesome, but it's definitely not like a Source 1 to Source 2 kind
Oh
of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I think for what it is, I think what's makes it look a lot better is more of their new art style they're doing. It definitely looks a lot more natural lighting than the colorful like orange burst color everywhere. Or the blue tint or everything. I think everything now it just looks more like fruity colors.
Did everyone see that video of someone imagining what the Battlefield 5 theme is going to be like?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that now.
Oh, let me try to find it. Dave, vamp for a minute.
Yeah, actually, I was going to talk a little bit about them showing single player first because I know they want to show off all the graphics because that's the eye-catching part, but we've all seen Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 3 already looks amazing. I mean, it's a great-looking game. I don't think anyone expected Battlefield 4 to look terrible, but Battlefield is a multiplayer game. And I'm actually not going to let myself get that excited until I see multiplayer. Like, I'm not going to pre-order it. I'm not going to get on the hype train or anything until I actually see multiplayer and see what's changed on the gameplay front. Because Battlefield 3 already looks great. I want to see some of the gameplay stuff come back now. Commander mode, battle recorder, spectator mode, stuff like that is what I'm more interested in this time around. I've already got the good-looking part of the game.
I agree with you. I'm going to need to see... I'm going to have to be impressed by what I see from multiplayer before I'm going to want to order it, just because, I've got all the fun gameplay stuff, in Battlefield 3, so they're going to have to show me something different to make me want to get Battlefield 4, because I don't really care about the single player, so multiplayer is going to have to be significantly different for them to get my money.
I will say I did... Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, that's my big question. All the things you mentioned that you'd like to see, commander mode will make a difference in the actual match. But so much of the other stuff is just focused on, esport or streaming or sharing. But what can they do to the soldier on the ground to make it more interesting than Battlefield 3? What would get you guys excited?
More varied map designs. It did feel like a lot of the maps, there's 29 maps for Battlefield 3, and a lot of them at this point, they kind of feel like they're starting to get similar. There's just not any crazy out there maps, and I feel like there could be.
Pitch one.
Actually, I really like Dave's. The map that Dave pitched, which of course is a terrible pitch because I can't really describe it off the top of my head. But I really liked his, where it had the mountains and the valley in between. I think it'd be cool to have a town, an actual city. Think in Modern Warfare 2 when you're fighting through Northern Virginia, in that neighborhood, something like that, where you've got jets going overhead and you're fighting from room to room and everything like that. I think that would be really cool.
My ultimate map would be?
What?
I think I told Dave this. I think it'd be awesome if you had two large ships in the water in a rough sea, and you could just take helicopter and troops over and land on their base, try to capture points, and then you have boats going across, and then you could have the submarines and stuff, but it's just on a crashy, rainy boat that's just kind of moving and stuff. That would be really cool to be able to just land.
Get the exact same thing you had on Battlefield 2, where you just get the snipers who all sit along the edge of the boat sniping as the guys try to go get in their helicopters.
Did anyone, you guys, I know you're going to just ream me for this, but did anyone play Call of Duty 1? That first rainy ship?
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if it was a level like that, but you could actually fly people with little birds over to the ship, land them on the back, or they climb up the ropes and stuff. So it almost feel like a little mini mission. I think it'd make a good rush mode, something like that. You start off in boats and have to destroy a ship from the inside out or something.
Someone actually won the map contest last year, along with my Appalachia map, with the boat idea, having a couple of aircraft carriers from the different navies that are drifting too close and slugging it out, and you use the scout choppers and the fast pontoon boats to go back and forth and attack the different points, and there's a little island nearby and all kinds of cool stuff like that.
Could make for a pretty cool set, as one team does better than the other, the ships start to sink each other and you just get to see those massive guns go off and impact.
Yeah.
You gotta
throw
escape
people
from
into
the
the
bottom
water
as it's filling up.
I mean, it's Battlefield. Let's get the scope up, It's 2013. Use that engine power for something awesome.
Dave, saving that, from playing Left 4 Dead 2, that one mission when I think heavy rain, when you go through the town and then it starts to rain and you come back, imagine a rush mode type of game where it could be randomly generated so that the map would literally start in a torrential downpour where you can barely see anything, but then it would kind of let up some, or something that would change it. Like I guess you guys probably never played any of the Gears of War games. I'm not sure, but Gears of War, Gears of War 2 had a really cool snow map that throughout the middle of the game it would randomly just the whole map would cave in from an avalanche, and so all these lower areas you had to get out of the lower areas to get up higher. The snow would come in, and the whole map is different. I could see that being really cool for Battlefield with weather changes or snow or a desert storm or something that just caused you to have to get indoors, or it just changed the environment up a bit. That would be cool.
I can't find the video I want to show to you guys. Dave, would you know how to locate it?
It may be in my browser history.
All right, see if you can find
your open
it.
browser.
I was about to say, or Joel's going to say it, knowing my browser habits, it's probably open a tab somewhere.
Okay, funny story about Dave's open tabs. We went on a beach trip together last year. Okay, he brought his laptop, and he's it was so funny. He brought his laptop, and then 6 months later, about a month ago, Dave pulls out his laptop. 6 months,
a month, whatever.
Whatever, shut up. No, like months afterwards. This is from last year. He opens his laptop at work because we had to move our office because the power was getting worked on in our office area. So we move in. Dave's like, holy crap. He's like, my laptop smells like the beach, and the tabs are still in the exact same ones that he opened from the beach trip last year.
Well, to be fair, I hadn't booted it or taken it out of the case since I got back. So. It's true, though. I booted the computer up, and the CPU fan started, and it smelled like the beach. Like, I passed it around the office. It was awesome. Of course, it's probably like all corroded on the inside now. I'm dropping the theme into the comments here, guys.
I'm liking to think that Steve is actually just watching a movie right now.
Once it shows up in the comments, we all have to open it, pause it, and watch it at the same time. Okay.
Wait,
okay, I can't actually.
Comments where?
I can't post it in the comments because it's a web address.
Oh, okay. Then
you can chat.
Can you
chat
share
on
it?
Here.
Can you share it through Google Chat?
Yeah,
the chat.
It's right here. You just click on the group chat over there.
Okay. For everyone else, I will post it in the overlay.
Okay, I'm going to hold my headphones up to the mic so everyone can hear what we're about to play as soon as it shows up.
Sorry, I just lost it again.
How did you lose it?
I don't know. It copied it like a different Battlefield video. I have no idea how that happens.
He had to quickly uncopy and copy another link because the last one was actually like a My Little Pony video.
You got me, Joel. Oh, no, that's right, video. He changed the title to My Thoughts on Battlefield. Okay.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, this guy because the Battlefield theme has kind of evolved over the years, and this guy is kind of imagining what it's going to be like for Battlefield 5 based on the direction it's been going. Okay, so everyone open it and pause it.
Okay.
All right? And let me know when you're ready, and we'll play it, okay?
Ready.
Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3, play. It's Battlefield 2.
Love the old music.
Battlefield 2142. Battlefield 1943. Battlefield 3.
I can see where this is going.
Battlefield 4.
Oh, that's great.
My ears are bleeding.
That was actually pretty good.
So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, it's called My Thoughts on Battlefield. Go look it up.
I have the URL on my screen right there. I'm not sure if you guys can read it.
We can't. It looks just like fuzz.
Buzz.
Yeah, just look for My Thoughts on Battlefield. So anyway, we actually have a listener question. Someone sent in an audio question. If you want to be a part of the show, write into casualshenanigans@gmail.com or tweet @casualshenaniga. And you can also send an audio podcast or audio clip to casualshenanigans@gmail.com. And if your voice sounds sexy and exotic like this young man's, we will play it on the podcast. So I may not actually be able to hear the question because I'm holding my headphones over the thing. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to play the question now and then we'll answer it.
Okay, so I just finished watching the Battlefield, not 3, the Battlefield 4 trailer, and I was blown away by graphically and audio-wise and just how amazing it looks. And I was just wondering your opinions on it. If you notice in the top right corner, it sort of looks like a friend list, maybe sort of online DMR thing that EA seems to be pushing on some of the new games. So what are your guys' opinions on it? I'd love to hear it. Oh, also, what do you reckon the specs for the computers would be needed to play the game at like highest graphics, or at least so it looks impressive? I know you guys are huge Battlefield 3 fans, and Battlefield series in general, so hopefully you guys can give me some sort of insight into sort of what you think about it and how it's going to hold up as a Battlefield game. Okay, this question's long enough. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Seems like a nice chat.
He does.
Accents are always welcome.
So let's go ahead and just do the second question first, because I think that's the easier one. What specs do you think it'll take to run it? Now, Battlefield 3, you could run it all the way up, max settings. You needed a high mid-range computer. You needed to spend about, I'd say about $1,000 to run max everything 1080p. Would you say that's fairly accurate, Dave?
If you're building yourself, yeah.
Yeah, if you're building, yeah. So I think Battlefield 4, it's probably going to take a little more specs than Battlefield 3, but I'm betting it's not going to be that much more. When Battlefield 3 came out, what was like the top of the line NVIDIA card? To be a 580, right?
Yeah, 580.
Okay, then I'm betting like a 680 or 780, if they're out by then, will give you comparable performance than the 580 did on Battlefield 3, I'm assuming. And
Yeah.
Battlefield 3, it's not a very CPU-heavy game, so I'm betting that if you've got a decent quad core or something, you should be fine for Battlefield 4. I'm betting you'll have no problems running it. So yeah, I mean, that's what I think. What do you guys think?
I kind of hope it. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No, that's fine.
Mine's just gonna be dribble. Go ahead.
It's like, yeah, I mean, I think you're right. It'll be interesting to see, since they're not going to be dropping the consoles, so I'm sure it'll continue to be well optimized. And the fact that, you may not be able to run it on ultra, but I imagine that the medium to high settings will be relatively easy to run it on again. I imagine you'll see probably a little bit of a performance increase, but I imagine a lot of the stuff that they did when upgrading from 2 to 3 Frostbite, I bet a decent amount of that was optimization as well as the new system, so I'd be surprised if it got much worse than it is now.
Yeah, I really hope, since the graphics are not going to be that much crazier difference, I mean, just from the trailer, it looks awesome, but it's not going to be that different. I hope it's just more optimized, like they're able to figure out bugs from the last engine and just it runs decently, so I can still run on it, because I can run my game on high, and I don't really have that great of a computer. So I'm hoping, because I was pretty impressed. BioShock Infinite looks incredible. I could play it at Ultra on 30 frames, but then it would kind of hiccup a lot, so I just went back down to high. But it looks great.
I've got a friend. Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I've got a friend. I built him a gaming computer like 4 years ago. It's a Core 2 Duo E8400, and it's and a Radeon 4870, 4 gigs of RAM. So by today's standards, it's a pretty crappy computer, but for gaming at least, it's a perfectly
4 gigs of RAM
computer.
for video?
No, 4 gigs of system RAM.
Oh, I was like, holy crap, dude! I only have a 1 gig of RAM video card. I'm like, how's that
512 megabytes of video RAM and an E8400, and he was having a little bit of stutter. Running the game with everything like on high. So I went over and we overclocked his CPU to 4 gigahertz, and he's now able to run it like 50, 60 frames per second, everything on high on that rig. Like, that's pretty impressive.
That's really good, yeah. Battlefield 4's EA is definitely no irrational games when it comes to, optimizing, but hopefully all this time they will, since they're just using a iteration of the engine and not a full, I wouldn't say it's a full 3, I would say it's more of a 2.5. But since it's still the same engine, it's not a new engine. hopefully it'll just still run really well. Like, I would do okay with not having to have the crazy awesome explosions if it was like a lesser version of it or something like that. If I could still run it decently, because I don't want to upgrade just yet, hopefully.
I did hear their marketing department say that, like, apparently Battlefield 3 was using, like, 25% of Frostbite 2, and with Frostbite 3, they said they're going to be using up to, like, 75% of the potential of the engine, which is all marketing, but from the trailer, at least, they were doing some pretty impressive things as far as the scale of the environments, the lighting, the particles. They were definitely improved. It did look very good.
By potential, for all we know, they were like sitting in some meeting with the programmers, and the programmer was like, and then if you give me 3 years and $2 million, I can make all of the birds mirrors and something else. And they're like, oh, wow, that sounds amazing. We're not there yet, but we'll get it on the next one. Actually, a real quick story with the CPU in that guy's computer I was telling you about. It's an E8400, which is a Core 2 Duo, and it has a reputation for being a great overclocker. And it's got an okay CPU fan on it, not amazing, but so we took it from 3 gigahertz to 4 gigahertz with just a little bit of a bump in voltage, and it was rock stable, which is really good.
I'm gonna go grab a drink because this is boring me up. Right back.
Cool. So we got it to 4 gigahertz stable. It was running a maximum of like 68 degrees Celsius, which for a Core 2 Duo isn't unheard of. Like that's warm, but you can go that high. It's okay. So I was like, okay, let's see how far can we go. So I knocked it up to 4.5 gigahertz. And to get that thing running stable at 4.5 gigahertz, I gave it so much voltage that it hit 93 degrees Celsius when we were running Cinebench. But it took the Cinebench score, the Cinebench R11 CPU render score, from 1.6 to like 2.8.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Which is pathetic. My computer gets like a 7.8, but for a Core 2 Duo, it was doing pretty good. For an older computer, that was pretty decent. So I thought that was kind of funny, but that thing got warm. It was fine, though. It didn't hard lock, which is kind of amazing. I'm kind of curious how much that chip can take. But anyway, yeah, if you want to be a part of the show, like we said, write in stuff. Write in, email in, do whatever. Joel, do you have 90 seconds for us this week?
Yeah. Anyone have a watch? Keep me on track?
I do. Want me to hold it up to the screen?
Because...
well, that's not
that'd
gonna
be
work.
great.
My
Focus.
eyes.
Focus. Here, how about we just use technology?
Tell me when you're ready.
You can turn it.
Are you going to show it actually on your screen?
Hold on. I'm just gonna bring it up on my phone. Hold on. Man, this makes for great radio, doesn't it, guys? Isn't everyone having fun?
You can totally see what you're doing over there.
Alright, I'm gonna make it for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, it's too
You ready?
long.
That's 90 seconds. It's called 90 Seconds with Joel. Would you like the 90 seconds to be shorter?
Shut up. I suck at math.
Can you see that? Alright, you can see that?
Yes.
He's overcome
Hold
by
on.
shame.
Are you ready?
Let me point the light up away from it. Okay, I'm gonna hit start, okay?
Okay, if I can make your guys just complete silence.
Yes. We are silent. Alright, 1, 2, 3, go.
I'm just going to drink this awesome brisk tea. It's a mango flavored. It's very good. So hopefully this mic can pick this up, but this should be quite a sound for you guys.
What the heck is going on?
Did you just spew the floor?
Shh, guys, this is hipster art.
What are you doing?
You realize that most of our
I have
viewers are
90
actually
seconds.
listeners, and this is great radio.
I am drinking an entire large can of brisk iced tea for all those people listening. Sorry the
You
gulping's not
couldn't
coming
tell.
out. But if you saw this is visual art, guys. I once saw a video, and this is real. This is almost ridiculous. Some hipsters go so crazy. There's this person that literally
opened a can of spaghetti in front of a large audience. I mean, a massive audience. You can look it up. Just Google it. But then, warning. She opened a can of spaghetti, rubbed the spaghetti, dang it, spaghetti all over, and then she peed in the can.
And that has been 90 seconds with Joel. We just ran out of time.
Oh my!
That's why you guys. I really feel enlightened after that.
Why do we give him this segment?
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We had one more thing to talk about tonight, but we're running kind of up on time, so we'll probably just talk about it next week. I'm just disgusted in general.
I'm trying to make sure we add shenanigans in this podcast.
What?
Oh.
So you think shenanigans is you drinking tea in front of a microphone for 90 seconds?
How is that not funny?
I don't know how they party where you're from, but
We party hardy.
Does anyone have anything else they want to talk about before we go?
I don't have delicious iced tea, but I do have. Well, I had coffee in my. Joel, you recognize this mug? Actually, my angry coffee mug.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. One of our coworkers made this a while back.
That's epic.
It's funny,
and
we actually swept out all of our dishes for these, flowery, nice coffee mugs and all. I'm like, you know what? I need a manly coffee mug. I'm the only person who uses it, but I had to have a manly coffee mug just for me. It's the only one I'll use. No flowers, just angry.
I will accept nothing but awesome.
Since anytime Dave and I are the only ones on the podcast, we talk about guns invariably. I just have one super quick gun story. I promise it's super quick. Two.
Wait. Let me get ready for it.
Okay. Joel wanted us to start.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So, Joel wanted us to start another podcast to talk about guns, and he wanted us to call it Gun Shenanigans, which I don't know how terrible of a name you could come up with for a podcast about responsible gun ownership. Gun Shenanigans is probably not it.
I think it's pretty safe to say that any idea that Joel comes up with is not going to be responsible in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
Dave,
I spoke too soon because if you Google it, that actually comes up as the government's podcast on guns.
Dave, just to rub it in your face. So I got some 223 today. I ordered it from Cabela's. They had it in stock for $7 a box.
Screw you.
$7. Anyway, so yeah, my quick gun story. This past weekend,
Consult to Dave for more.
My brother and I were target shooting a little bit, and we were shooting milk jugs full of water from 40 yards out. We've got paced off 40 yards, and it's really easy to hit with an AR-15. You just put the sights on it, shoot, and you hit it every single time. It's so easy. So we decided to step up the challenge a little bit, and we started setting water bottles up at 40 yards. But the thing about water bottles is the front sight, an iron sights on an AR-15, completely covers the bottle. So
Yeah.
I tried. I was the only person to hit the first time. Oh, Miss Aaron in chat. Aaron found the video that Joel was talking about with the lady eating the spaghetti and posted it.
I don't want to look.
Thanks, Aaron. Anyway, so
I like how Nick's just dot. I think he's now scarred for life.
I told you, sorry, man.
Anyway,
I'm
so
afraid
we
to
were
put
shooting
that.
water bottles, and it wasn't going that well at that distance because you just can't see them.
Right.
So I decided I was getting really fed up with the AR, so I went and got my handgun out of my car, my 9mm, and I sighted up, and I spent 10 seconds calming my breathing down, and then first shot I hit a water bottle at 40 yards.
What?
Wow.
And then I immediately went and put the gun back in the car because I know when to quit.
I
For any of
actually have something to add for guns.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
I'm skeptical of this, but I'll
No,
allow it.
Dave knows about this. I told Dave it's something we want to do, hopefully sometime soon, on a Sunday afternoon or something like that. Oh, am I spoiling it?
Don't spoil the idea. It's gonna be a surprise.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I just took
Can you
away
save
Joel's
it?
glory.
That's
Can you
all
save
right,
it for
no.
a weekend when I'm coming up to your town?
No.
Okay.
Unless
I'll never
it's 2 weeks
see
from
you
now.
again. Oh, it could be. If
We
the
actually
thing is
should.
good enough.
Are you coming on a cabin trip?
I wasn't invited.
That's not what we're on.
All right, for another time.
Let me walk down my virtual steps.
Actually, speaking of handgun sights, I wish I had a better camera. I just got these in today. These are Mi Pro Light tritium night sights, and I guess
For everyone who's watching, Dave's holding up something tiny that you can't see.
Me for a long time.
Yeah, you
Not
really
really.
can't see those, but yeah, they're tritium night sights. They have little glass bulbs in the sight that contains phosphorus and tritium, and it actually glows like cast light. They're pretty awesome. The terrifying part is I have to take my CZ75 apart, lock the slide in a vise grip, and then take a steel punch and knock the front sight pin out, then knock the side out with a hammer, knock the rear side out, screw new pinholes in, all without shattering anything. So I'm a little terrified, but that's my gun adventure for this weekend, I think, is
Have fun.
getting those installed. I have no idea what I'm doing. But they're
And
going to
with
look
that-
pretty and glow and stuff.
And with that, does anyone have anything else before we sign off for the evening?
Sorry, one last thing. Is that a Glidecam 2000 Pro?
It is.
Nice.
Would you like to borrow it?
I
I
actually
suck at using it.
I think I actually have. I think I have. No, I have the 2000 or 3000. One of those. I have one of those, and I'm actually really good at it with it. I've used one for many more years.
Yeah, I need to
I was
practice
curious
more
to-
with mine. I got it
You
because
ever
I
want
wanted
some
to
tips? I actually should show you.
I should
not
talk
be
to you
a jerk,
offline then. I definitely should talk to you, because I suck at it. I got it because I want to practice more with my video. Like, I've gotten a decent video camera.
Next time you come up to visit, bring it.
Okay, we'll do. Anyway, yeah, anyone have anything else? Steve, I know we didn't cover many games that you normally play, but thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You can send me that little 10-second clip, and I'll just patch it in at the end. No, actually, we need to talk more about Arma 3 probably next podcast. So Steve
Yeah,
will be
yeah, let's do that.
Steve
Yeah,
will
that'd be
definitely be in
awesome.
on that.
Yeah,
I
we need
guess-
to get you and Chris talking about your custom missions, because I haven't touched it as much as
yeah.
I have in Arma 2, and I want you guys to talk about some of that custom mission stuff.
Yeah, we definitely should. We'll talk about it next podcast.
Yes.
Okay, but yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. We actually had a record number of viewers tonight. It got up to 6 at one point. But
We're
yeah, it was-
growing, man. We're growing.
but yeah, thank you guys. You can follow us all on Twitter. Well, I don't know if you can follow all of us, but I'll just go ahead and you can follow me at Germ Gaming. You can follow Dave at Evil Viking. Joel, do you have Twitter?
I don't remember if I do.
Okay, so you can follow me and Dave on Twitter, and you can follow us on YouTube, Germ Gaming, Evil Viking 13, and Boundless MP. For Joel, please don't.
I've got some pro MLG tip videos. for
Amazing
Battlefield 3.
videos, by the way.
Oh wait, real quick, for our like viewer comment of the week, Joel, can you please read what that guy sent to you?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I gotta bring it up.
If you haven't seen Joel's YouTube channel, pause right now, go watch a couple videos, and then come back.
Drop everything you're doing and educate yourself.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is all extreme sarcasm, very extreme sarcasm. I've been doing it for
But
years.
it's extreme sarcasm that sounds just sincere enough that you're not sure.
Yeah, people think it's serious. Like I'm like absolute retard. And in a way, I kind of am. But anyways, I had some guy comment, and this guy literally has been watching my videos for 4 or 5 years now, or since I started, because I recognize the username and stuff. Because he sent me many messages through the past, and I've never ever told him the truth. Well, anyways, he decided to message me. He said, "I need to know. These videos are a joke, right? You're not serious. I'm borderline depressed to think there are people like this in the world. I need to know you're joking. I'm not going to tell people if you tell me. I just need to know." So
Joel
I
goes
sent-
in for the long troll.
So I sent him a message. I was like, yes, it's all just insanely hardcore sarcasm. I thought it'd be funny to start doing videos as if I'm just some super douchey rich mama's boy who just wants to help out the world with crappy reviews and why things suck. anyways, I was like, thanks for watching, and I was like, and make sure to watch my latest video. And it's one about Kim Jong and how to prepare for the nuclear war and everything. And the guy's a little still confused, but he sent me the messages back, and he goes, GD, man, have you considered a career in acting? You have everyone fooled. Good. He's like, good job.
No, see, what he doesn't understand, it's not acting. You really just act like that most of the time.
But I get a lot of comments on my Battlefield 3 review, and they're hilarious. It's like, you suck. You were the worst Battlefield 3 player ever. I didn't know if you were being serious in your crappy Battlefield 3 video, but you were garbage at that game.
I will say,
you should not use a shotgun to kill a tank.
I will say, actually, I've got a video showing us killing a tank with a shotgun. So, but
Casual shenanigans. What can we say?
Before I met you, I think Dave posted shared a link to your global warming documentary, Dirty Homeless Planet. And,
oh, yeah.
And I watched it, and the whole time I was thinking, what on earth is wrong with this idiot? Like, I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no one really thinks, like, people believe then reptilians are controlling the world. But there's no way anyone...
Did you watch my review on conspiracy theories?
Yes. But I was like, there's no way. It can't, like, it's impossible. And then, so first time we got online with you, I was very tentative. I was like, all right, I'm waiting for him to say something totally ridiculous. Show off how, like, borderline mentally handicapped he is. But it never happened. Well, no, that stuff, you say that all the time. But nothing specific. It was an experience.
Joel is always an experience.
I have a video on
Sub Joel.
On pro jet tips coming out soon. So stay tuned, guys.
Joel, don't you have like 6.5 minutes in jets in Battlefield 3?
Yeah.
Like a year and a half?
It's literally like, I don't know, like 30 minutes maybe overall. Just the other day we were playing, and I jump into the helicopter, and I'm like, hey guys, I'll come pick you up. I didn't even finish the sentence, and it already blew up. I hit a tree.
I just spawned on you too. Like, I didn't process the fact that it was Joel saying, hey guys, I have the helicopter. I'm just like, oh, our squad's got a chop. It's Joel. and we're dead.
Good times.
All right. That's going to be all for us this evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Steve. And everyone, watch all our stuff. Subscribe to all of us. Shameless promotion.
Love us.
If you're listening to this podcast, you're going to hear this. Like, it's not shameless.
Yeah,
really.
if they're listening to this podcast, they're going to hear it. Thank you, Joel. For everyone else.
How is it shameless to promote yourself on your own podcast that people are listening to? It's
Okay,
like,
think about what you just said, though. What you just said. If they're listening to this, they'll hear it.
I know that, but I'm just saying. What was that face? That was a creepy face. I'm saying, like, it's not shameless. It's kind of like, what do they expect? Like, we're going to promote someone else's channel?
That's true. I feel bad for saying it now that I'm technically making money off of my YouTube channel. I say technically because we're talking about, like, tiny amounts of money. Click on all the ads, guys. Money, click on the ads. What?
Speaking of money, I finally made my second $100 off of Google on my YouTube channel, and it's taken 3 years to do it. But I just made $100 from being an absolute douche.
Do they not send it to you until you make $100?
Yeah. So, because my goal the last 2 years has been trying to get my subscription base lower and lower to see if I can just make worse videos, and I did really good. But then I started gaining some, so I'm like, dang it. But I finally made another 100. I'm like. Thank you guys. Like, anytime someone comments to me, like, I hate you so much, I'm like, thanks, fan, uppercase. And I'm like, I just got my Google check, appreciate it. I'm like, and I always say I'm going to go buy a gift card at Starbucks. And then I don't like Starbucks, I like hot chocolate or something.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to try this again. Thank you, everyone. We are leaving you now. So thanks for watching and listening, and bye.
Bye, guys.